we have another guest in the studio.
We do have another guest. We have a family member. You guys are going to be super excited.
We have number 15.
My little brother, Jackson. Welcome
Duggar.
to the podcast.
Thanks for having me. Justin, right above me, always hung out with guys like, he hung out with Austin.
Yeah.
He hung out with all the mature, older
people.
guys. Right. I felt like I was like, the cutoff was right at me. I was with the young girls.
Yep.
And I was always kind of like, oh, Jackson, you got to go with them. You know, oh, you can't stay out late. Oh, you got to stay over here. You know, go drink your sippy cup in the corner. You know.
Before we got on, you said you haven't done like an interview like this since you were 17.
Yeah.
So give the people an update. How old are you? What's life been like?
Yeah, it's crazy. It feels like it's been like forever ago since I've done any interview at all.
What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another episode of the Jinger Jeremy podcast. And we have another guest in the studio.
We do have another guest. We have a family member. You guys are going to be super excited.
We have number 15.
My little brother, Jackson. Welcome to the podcast.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah.
Being here, bro.
Thanks for jumping on.
We're always excited when you get to come in for a visit.
Yeah, I love coming to visit you guys. It's great.
It's great. We're going to put Jack to work today. So we have some projects around the house. He was talking about, he's like, if you need any projects done, let me know. And so I started looking around and I was like, oh, there's actually a lot of projects. I feel like that's what you get when you buy a house that's a little bit older. There's always things that are falling apart.
Yeah, so we're going to put Jack to work a little bit. Because here's the thing is, the Duggar boys, they know how to do stuff. I am not like the handyman. And you guys just can do anything and everything so fast. It's incredible.
I think he's going to build you're going to build a side gate for us, right?
Yeah.
One of our gates just fell off.
Put together a side gate, build y'all some things, cut out a frame and put it all together.
I like it. Yeah. The kids had nearly escaped out one of the fences. And then another day, we had a coyote come into our backyard.
Oh, yeah.
A little visitor.
So then I was like,
didn't we have
gotta
deer
get
in?
it
But the
fixed.
deer just jumped the
Yes,
fence anyway.
there were deer in our backyard. Val looked out, our sister-in-law. She looked out and she was like, oh, there's deer in the backyard one morning. So
wow. Just got a whole zoo.
We get a lot of critters.
We definitely do.
Rattlesnakes, coyotes.
I remember
bobcats.
I was out here, saw that bobcat.
Oh, yeah, in our front yard. It was right next to you.
It was crazy.
It was right next to you in the front yard.
Sitting right there in my truck, just do my Bible time. And next thing I look over and there's a bobcat right there. I was like, what in the world?
Yeah,
It's
we're out there.
insane. It's so wild.
Okay, you are one of very few people in the world who can say that you were literally born on TV.
Yeah.
How does it feel knowing, because obviously there's the TV dynamic with the family and all of that, but we were watching an episode, the very first episode, 14 children and pregnant again. And I did not know that it had your birth. So I'm just watching this episode and all of a sudden, bam, Jackson is brought into the world.
And Jeremy literally, I think he's like, oh, I didn't know I was going to show that.
The whole cesarean section, everything was there. And then all of a sudden, Jackson shows up.
Yeah.
And you weren't smiling, but
I sure was loud, wouldn't I?
You're in the best mood.
I was loud then, and I haven't changed much since then.
No, you haven't. Full of life and energy.
Yeah, I guess that's why. From what I heard, I was gonna be called Judah Benjamin, actually.
Yeah.
Really?
And Judah Benjamin. They said that on the show. They were like, "Oh, there's little Judah Benjamin" when they were at the ultrasound.
That's right, Jackson.
But then later on, whenever they were like, "Oh, Jackson, Jackson's here now," and it was like, but they decided to change the name, I guess, because I was
Jackson
such
Levi.
a jumping jack.
That's what it was.
That's
He
what
was called
yeah.
Action
Is it really?
Jackson.
Action
That's what
Jackson.
she
Is that why they changed the name though? Like, because
I'm not sure.
was it post?
Oh, I know why. I know why. So that's funny because I didn't actually think about Judah Benjamin. The reason why was because there are a couple biblical names that they were not sure if they wanted to use. And Judah was one that I remembered them saying a couple friends had kids named with the name Judah. But we had some people who knew the family who were like, oh, Judas? And they were like, they thought it was too similar to Judas.
That's funny.
And so Judah and Judas, they were like, if you don't know the Bible well, you could think that it was Judas who betrayed Jesus.
Yeah.
And they were like,
I don't think I'd want to
I
be
think
Iscariot,
that's what I remember them talking about in that time was how similar it was. And so I think they kind of wanted to shy away from Judas and
Jackson
Jezebel.
Levi.
Yeah.
So your middle name's Levi.
Levi. They went with it. They still had to throw a Bible in there
That's strong.
somewhere.
That's strong.
Yeah.
So how was that for you being born on TV?
Ooh, well, I was born at a very young age, as they say. And so, yeah, that was, I'm not sure. It was, I guess, I don't remember it. So that was a good thing,
It's probably better. You say, okay, so do you have this happen where you'll watch an old clip, like it pops up and then you're like, oh, I remember that. And you don't know if it's actually your memory or if it's a clip from the show?
All the time.
Really?
I do that all the time.
Yeah.
I actually have such a bad memory, I feel like. There's so many things about the show and about everything that happened I just don't remember. But I will I'll watch it and I'll be like, oh yeah, I remember that. Or someone will start talking about it and I'll be like, yeah, I remember that. And I was literally 2 years old or something. So there's no way I could remember. But I don't know, for some reason, I've got a bad memory. But when someone brings something up, I always think I remember it. It's weird how that works.
Yeah, because you can see the video. It's different even than pictures. And it's like certain trips, you may have heard about, but then it's like if you remember going to China or, Japan, it's like, would you remember that?
I actually
Maybe you
remember
do because you're a little bit
suitcase
older.
full of snacks. I remember whenever we went into
Oh, yeah, we
Japan,
watched that the other day.
That's crazy.
and I
forgot
remember
about that.
I do remember watching that on the show, but then I also remember seeing that. I remember vividly seeing a suitcase full of these snacks, and we packed our pockets full.
Yep.
And then we went out and supposedly ate the meal, and we're over there snacking on all these.
Well, that's
crackers and stuff.
because you guys were eating stuff like scorpions.
It
And
was
stuff
a
in the-
Yes,
frozen solid fish head. Yeah.
Well, yes, because there was that time where they sliced open a tuna, like a fresh giant tuna.
Which is
I remember
incredible, by the
It's
way.
a
You guys did
delicacy.
not take
I
advantage
remember
of
that.
If you're 5 years old, it's not
a
going to
country
be what you're
kid
going
from
to go
Arkansas.
for when you've only had cooked food. And so I think those things would have been great.
Wasn't that on a street corner somewhere?
Yeah.
I do remember.
Yeah,
that.
they cut it open in front of a restaurant, but it was in the street.
Yeah, and they just
They
had
said,
this
cheer for the tuna head. And everybody's like, whoa.
Yeah, so probably $100,000 tuna.
Yeah, and they cut it
Wow.
open and they were cutting out fresh pieces of sushi, but we weren't all about it. So that's where your snacks came in handy.
Wow, that's crazy. I actually,
How old? I wonder how old you would have
I
been.
must have been I don't know, a young tyke back then for sure.
Yeah.
But
Wow.
I don't know.
That's insane.
I do remember that though. Actually, there's certain parts when we mentioned the ducks. I remember eating duck.
Yes, Peking duck at
Yeah,
that restaurant.
I remember that being
I
phenomenal.
remember that too. It was very good.
That's about all. I remember there's certain things that I pull back, like the bathroom. I remember seeing the toilet, and then I remember hearing Justin talk about how he got sprayed.
Oh,
he didn't. He pressed the wrong button or something. It was funny.
Oh, that's really.
and then all the squatty potties.
Yeah, everything.
When you were
Yeah.
walking around.
Oh, I remember
certain
Bill.
areas.
Bill Stefanacci, our sound guy, was he did the karate stuff, So we were walking. I just remember him being able to. He was punching a tree, or he did a couple of his karate stuff while we were there. I remember that too.
That's
That's
awesome.
crazy.
Yeah.
Okay, so Jackson, give us, before we got on, you said you haven't done an interview like this since you were 17.
Yeah.
So give the people an update. How old are you? What's life been like? That's been probably 5 or 6 years.
Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah, it feels like it's been forever ago since I've done any interview at all. So yeah, just 21. I've been working on different things, doing construction, and I also did a tree business. I worked for Jason. He has a tree business there, so I did that. Worked for a guy in church. Did some construction with him, and for about 6 months is whenever I was finishing that up, and then I got a call from a friend who is he's actually a doctor out here at a Bible college, and so I was praying about that, and ended up a week before it started, decided to go out to Bible college. So anyways,
awesome.
That's where I'm at now.
Well, we love that because it's brought you out to where we are.
Yeah.
So we've seen you probably 3 or 4 times now since you've come out.
It's so sweet. It's
Which is amazing. Yeah.
It's great.
We want to take a break from this episode to tell you about Cozy Earth.
Jinger, if you could tell our listeners, our dear faithful listeners, one thing that they could do to improve their life, why would you begin by telling them to buy Cozy Earth?
They need this bubble cuddle blanket.
It's very good.
I'm telling you, this is the best blanket. And Cozy Earth products are incredible. We have them all over our house. We gift them to people. So I know the holidays are coming up and you're trying to think, what do I get for the person who has everything? Get them Cozy Earth products. Their sheets are buttery soft. They have a free 100-night trial. If you're not sure if you want to try them out, do the trial.
Yeah.
But
you know what?
We after one day that you're going to love them.
We should ask people at Cozy Earth if anybody actually returns them after 100 days. Because I don't think anybody would. It's so superficial, I guess. But I look forward to the constant, and I look forward to getting in bed.
Yeah.
How comfortable it is.
Oh, yeah.
And Cozy Earth, man. They've
game changer.
All right, so here's our call to action. Go to CozyEarth.com, use code Ginger. It will give you a massive discount on the entire site. Trust us, you don't want to miss this. This is for our listeners. CozyEarth.com, use code Ginger. You won't regret it.
We want to take a break from this episode to tell you about Nanit.
Yeah, Nanit is this revolutionary baby monitor, and it's changed the game for us. I looked over, I think you and I were watching TV. Finn was asleep, and it tells you on the monitor, which is on your phone, by the way, it says baby has been asleep for 26 minutes. Mm-hmm. It tells you the time you put him down, when he stopped moving. I mean, it is like having a full-time nanny watching your kid, which is, I think, why they called it Nanit.
That feature is amazing. And then they also have some other features with sound, motion, cry, and cough detection. So all the things that you want as a parent to have your child resting. If you have to go out of the room, downstairs, then you know your baby's safe.
Yeah, and I know what you're thinking. You're thinking what we were thinking initially when we received Nanit was like, well, we've already got a baby monitor. So why do I need, why do I need to upgrade a baby monitor? You kind of look at it like you look at a toothbrush, like, oh, it just gets the job done. And you realize, oh no, Nanit offers so much information that is so helpful. And honestly, it takes care of the safety of your kid as well, because it alerts you if something's gone wrong. So Nanit is truly one baby item we can't live without. Right now, Nanit is offering 25% off just for our listeners. Get 25% off your first order with code BABY25. Go to nanit.com, nanit.com. Use code BABY25 to save. That's nanit.com with code BABY25.
Now back to the episode.
Yeah.
How are you enjoying college?
I'm really enjoying it. Yeah, I've got a lot of good friends there now, and the campus life is great. Lots of activities, lots of different things, and just a lot of Bible. Lots of Bible. I love it. It's a lot of study time. I just finished, tons of papers and stuff like that. But
what was your last paper on?
It was on the immutability of God. And
Nice.
I just actually turned that in last night. So
Wow.
yeah,
Did you get any sleep? Or are you like running on caffeine?
Well, actually, I had turned it at 10 o'clock, so I didn't
But
get to
still.
stay up till 2 a.m. finishing it. But
Yeah, that's good.
yeah, I'm doing the old college push.
So it's
for
got a
you.
mutal.
Yes, definitely. Yeah, that's actually really cool. I love that thought though of his immutability, his unchanging, the unchangingness of his character. If he didn't have that unchangingness, what would we hold on to?
Right. Yeah, it's a steadfast hope of the Christian.
So good.
That's very cool. And then you just got voted something.
Yes.
Tell
Yeah.
your sister what you just got
I
voted.
actually don't even know.
So I just got voted in for class president of the freshman class. So
Let's go,
Yeah,
Jack.
That doesn't surprise you knowing
Nope,
Jackson.
it actually doesn't.
He hits the
doesn't.
ground running. He comes into college and he's the guy who's immediately getting to know everybody.
Look at that.
yeah,
That's
and then,
fun.
And then they
That's
also I'm in the choir, and then
Yeah.
they had me sing in the freshman 15, which is a 15 singers who
So
sing
the
for
freshman
church and
15
everything.
meant something else for me when I was a freshman.
Something else.
Yeah, that was the freshman 15 is the 15 pounds you gain as a
I've
freshman.
heard that, and someone
But
told
at
me
this
that the
Bible
other
college,
day.
that means a
So
choir.
when I said it, then someone else was like, "You mean you gained 15 pounds already?" And I was like, "No, that's not what that means. No, not here. No, no, just singing."
That's awesome.
So yeah,
So
a
you
lot of.
sing, and then you're also doing what else? Theater?
See the theater. That's right. The drama. Yeah, I'm in 2 dramas. So one of them's actually on Thursday. So just a couple days away. And
Yep.
then, another one will be later on.
What is
That's
it?
so fun.
It's a play. It's called The Golden Age. It's about. It's basically kind of paralleling the riches of heaven to the riches of earth, and how
Okay.
the riches of earth are just vain and void, and the only thing to live for is the souls of men and the word of God. So yeah,
That's awesome.
pretty
You
good.
have to memorize a lot of lines?
I just have like I have like 1 or 2, like one big section. It's a short play, so it's not like a 40-minute long. So it's about 10 minutes, 15 minutes long.
nice.
So we each we've got like 7 or 8 people in the play, and it's kind of short. So each one of us have our lines and kind of say it.
Is this the first time you have lived away from home, because not all the Duggar kids went to college. Joe went to college, and then they've studied. Like Jana and Johanna have done nursing, and Jill did midwifery school and all that stuff, right?
Yeah.
But it's not like, not every Duggar kid goes off to college.
Yeah.
So are you only the second one who's gone off, like lived away for college?
I'm the second one who's gone off for college. And the other ones, Johanna, like you said, Johanna and Jana, they did a little bit of nursing school and stuff like that. But yeah, I'm the second one to go off. And,
the other was Joe, right?
Yeah, Joe was the other one. And so that's been kind of interesting, being the second one and pioneering. I asked Joe a little bit of advice, but really just kind of like, no one's like, oh yeah, here's what to expect. Or it's just kind of like, okay.
How is it?
Have fun. It's been great. Yeah, I didn't really expect everything. I didn't really understand it all at first, but as long as, I just kind of met people, kind of started asking questions, figured it out pretty quick. But
So how is the food?
The food.
Oh, I asked him this the other day, poor guy. No, this is public, Jen, so he's going to speak.
No, but
every college kid there is like, the food.
The food.
Yeah.
That's just what they say.
But that's
the ice cream on Fridays.
That's a rite of
the ice cream on Fridays is really good.
Okay.
And then I think it's Saturday is pretty good. There's certain days that are better than others.
Do they do
Sunday lunch is
no,
don't do Sunday lunch.
You just go out. You're like, we'll go out and get something.
Go out or just fast. Take that day to just fast and give it to the Lord.
Perfect.
But really though, they actually do have some pretty decent food on most of the days.
Yeah, for sure.
College, so that's a rite of passage in college. You have to eat at the college caf.
Yeah.
And it's cafeteria food. And the food could be great, but it's still cafeteria food.
Yeah, exactly.
They're serving 1,000 people.
Exactly. And it's every single day. So
imagine making lunch for 1,000 people. It's not going to be
crazy.
Yeah. Wow, that's cool. So you're in the one-year Bible program.
Yes. Yeah.
So you're just going to be an absolute Bible machine after this.
Yeah. I mean, never know.
What do you want to do with your life?
Well, I've been praying about that. I kind of have some goals. I was back home. I was trying to build a business. Just working on that. I say I was building a business. More so, I was getting started with a construction business of my own. And I was praying about that.
Like as a general contractor? Or?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I was trying to get to the place where I could build homes and do things like that. But I don't know. Just around that time, it was a perfect timing for me, for the Lord to kind of bring this college into my path. And so at the exact time I was like in the middle of trying to make that all happen, I got a call to come here. And so I decided that's where I was going to be. But I've been praying about that because I don't know if I go for the 1-year Bible and I decide to go back home, then I'll probably just go back and try to finish up with the construction business, but, and keep working in that and growing that business. But if not, then I'm praying about maybe doing 4 years.
Oh, wow.
Cool.
Maybe doing something in pastoral or something along those lines.
You'd be so good at that.
So
you're such a people person and you have a passion for the word. So that's the makings of a good minister. So, okay, down that vein, you've been digging into the Bible, you've been digging into the word. What has the Lord been showing you recently from his word?
Yeah, well, I feel like I've kind of gone through some things recently that just kind of really opened my eyes to just some different things. I had a friend who called me up and we were talking about some different things. But one of them was deception and like believing a lie and all of that. And as he started like talking with me about it, he was like, Jackson, could it be that you are believing a lie? Could it be that you are deceived? I'm like, well, no, I'm not deceived. And he's like, well, that's the thing. If you're deceived, that's the whole purpose of the whole thing of deceived is you don't know it, right? You don't know that you're deceived if you're deceived. And so as we were talking about it, he began to tell me something that he thought would be really good for me to do. And it was something along the lines of basically, he kind of took me through some different passages, but one of them that really came to my mind was 1 Corinthians, I believe it's chapter 10, where Paul is talking about the unbelievers' eyes are blinded, lest the glorious light of the gospel should shine unto them.
Yeah.
And as I was thinking about that verse and kind of meditating on it, I started asking the Lord, all right, Lord, is there an area in my life where I'm deceived?
We want to take a break from this episode to tell you about Function Health.
Your immune system is supposed to protect you, but sometimes it misfires. In autoimmune disorders, the body starts attacking its own tissues, creating inflammation and causing symptoms such as pain and fatigue, often long before a diagnosis is made. Okay, why did I just read you that? because it's true. The reality is our bodies are complex and there's so much going on inside of them that we don't always see when we look in the mirror. That's why Function Health is so critical to your health.
So we chose Function Health because it is the only health platform that gives you the data that most people never get. Like you said, those 100+ biomarkers that you can't see. I think those are the things that we'll say, oh, well, I'm healthy weight, or I try to like get all this healthy diet, all the things. But if you don't know what's actually happening inside your body, then that's where it could be the downfall. So
yeah, Function Health is like taking a tour of your body. It's like taking a tour of your health, and you've got to see it to believe it. And it's really impressive, where you actually get to see the inner workings of your health and then know what changes you need to make, or it gives you the confidence that you're on a good path. So learn more and join Function Health using our link. Function Health is a near 360-degree view of what's happening in your body. And our first 1,000 listeners, this is important, our first 1,000 listeners get $100 credit toward their membership. Every episode we put out, we have hundreds of thousands of listeners. If you are the first 1,000 listener, you get $100 credit toward your Function Health membership. Visit functionhealth.com/ginger or use gift code ginger100 at sign up to own your health.
now back to the episode.
Is there a place in my heart that I have kept from you? Something that I really don't see it. Maybe I'm thinking, oh, I'm good. I'm walking with you, or I'm faithful to you in this area, and yet you would say you're not walking with me, Jackson. That's not the place I want you to be. And so I started praying, Lord, open my eyes. Help me to not be deceived anymore. I don't want to be deceived. I want to walk in your ways. I want to honor you. And so I started praying that, and I started watching as the Lord like opened up my eyes to different areas in my life, just things that I had been keeping from him, or things that I had been like, oh, that's okay. Like I can handle that, or I can do this. And I struggled with a lot of different things whenever I was younger, and just different vices that I would hold on to or let hold on to me. And so I think recently the Lord has shown me some things, and especially through 1 John chapter 2. For verse like 15 to 17 especially, that really hit me. The verse 16 says, love not the world, neither the things that are in the world. If any man love the world, the love of the Father is not in him. And then it says, here's the works of the flesh, and they're manifested, which are these. It's the lust of the flesh, the lust of the eyes, and the pride of life.
Yeah.
These are not of the Father, but they are of the world. And then it reminded me of the parable of Jesus. When Jesus said the sower went out to sow, and he cast all the seed everywhere, right? But the one specifically fell on the thorny soil. And all of that thorny soil, he said the exact same things were mentioned. What was it that choked out the word of God? What was it that choked out what God was trying to do in that person's heart?
Right.
It was those exact same things. It was the other lust. It was the pleasures of this world, the riches of this world, and all these things that just crowded in and took over. Not that those things are in and of themselves, not that to have certain things or to do certain things is not the evils themselves, but the love of those things.
Right.
And that's something the Lord really started working on my heart about. So there were certain things that I had to really start carving out of my life.
Have you felt like this has been a season for you to kind of come into, because obviously you grew up in a home with the Bible, you grew up in a home with very clear direction, and so you're always going to church. I mean, that was a major part of your life, but do you feel like this was a season, or has been a season for you of, is this the wrong term, like coming into your own? Not like making your faith your own, but you've been a believer for a while, but because you've always had strong conviction and loved the Lord from the time I've known you.
Yeah.
But has this been a season where the Lord's been particularly shaping you?
Yeah, for sure. I would say, especially whenever because I got saved when I was 5. Okay, so I mean, I got saved when I was 5, and I honestly, from 5 till I was about 16, I really didn't make it my own. And I really was just kind of I was living the mediocre life. Just kind of coasting in my Christian walk, which is another passage of scripture that really touched me, was Philippians 1:7 or 1:10 or 7. I can't remember which one it is, but it says, approve things that are excellent, that ye may be sincere and without offense till the day of Jesus Christ. And the reason why that verse touched me so much was because of excellency. I had been living in this I can just kind of make it through in my Christian walk. I can just kind of, and I would never say that.
Right.
Because I thought I was living enough. But in reality, the Lord kind of showed me, Jackson, you have not been living an excellent life. And that's why when you live in mediocrity, you will choose evil. The Christian life is not the fight between the good and the evil. The Christian life is made up of the decisions between the excellent and the good.
Yeah.
And that's something that the Lord showed me through that.
Well, Hebrews 12 calls us cast aside weights and sins. And so much, it's like the sins can be so obvious. And we can say, those are sometimes appear to be less of a threat, but it's the weights and distractions. Satan is content to keep us distracted because it just keeps us off course and off mission.
Yeah.
Do you feel like, as you're talking about, you're at the stage of life, you're 21, so you're thinking, what am I going to do with my life?
Yeah.
And you see a lot of your brothers who are doing excellent work, whether it's real estate, whether it's construction, whether it's cars, whatever it is. John's flying people all over the world.
Yeah.
Do you feel like the Lord is kind of putting into focus and defining for you what your future looks like as he's working on your own heart with, studying the word, convicting you of things, giving you direction? Do you feel, you mentioned a minute ago about ministry, do you feel like that's coming into sharper focus?
I feel like a little bit, yeah. Which I haven't really like explicitly said it, but I think really that is something that the Lord's really been, ever since I was a kid, I remember I had a friend who I was 8 years old. He was 8 years old. And I just remember coming alongside him and just all the things that we'd been learning in wisdom booklets or all the things that we'd just been learning in general, just from mom and pops and studying the scripture. I remember everything he was saying was exactly what I'd been learning. Yeah. And just pouring out the scriptures to him just from what I'd been learning. Yeah. And so ever since that age, I just remember being like, whoa, this is real. And this is what I want to do.
Does that surprise you about your brother that he would be like investing in others in that way?
Oh, no, for sure. Yeah. Jack has always been, and I think you're always even temperamentally an outgoing person, which is really sweet. So some people, they have to really force themselves to like, okay, I'm going to go talk to that person across the room. And I think that you have like, for one, a care for others and a connection. And then from that, like overflow, you have the side that you've been, God made you an extrovert. We know that. Yeah. So you have that working for you too. Sometimes you have to. But then I think that's awesome because you're using those talents and gifts that God's given you to reach out to others and to help. And I think that that's really sweet to see.
It's good to see too in our age. I think there's an awakening and an enlightening to young men needing direction. Yeah. And recognizing, I work with college students, your age group, and we've never been so privileged in the sense of living in the West with wealth, with opportunity, with entertainment. Entertainment is a privilege of a peaceful land, right? If you're fighting to like eat to survive that day, you don't get to entertain yourself. I've been actually doing some discussions and study on like we've made this dichotomy between leisure and work. And we look at like education as work, like, I got to go to class. Well, for most of humanity, having the opportunity to sit and read a book or to engage your mind was leisure. Wow. Because it meant you weren't fighting for food that day, or you weren't fighting another, tribe coming to take you over. Like if you got to sit for 2 hours and work on your brain, that would have been just to fill your mind with knowledge. That's leisure. Wow. So we have been so spoiled by leisure, by peace, I should say, that we've separated leisure from work. And it's really sad. And even our educational pursuit, we look at it like, I got to study, No, that's like a privilege and a joy to study. But I guess my roundabout point is saying, with all of these privileges, we've never been more depressed as a society. And that demographic, your demographic, has never been more aimless and depressed. And so to see a young man like yourself really trying to say, okay, Lord, where would you have me? How would you have me expend my energy? You've got, the world is your oyster in the sense of like, you could do it anything you want. You have opportunity, you have energy, you have resources. And so for you to dedicate yourself and say, okay, I want to go study the Bible and I want to explore, even though if you don't know exactly what that's going to be, I want to explore the idea of ministry. That's encouraging. That's encouraging to see.
Yeah, I've been praying about it. So.
There's a lot of guys, your demographic, who are just kind of wandering,
I do feel like for a while there, I felt like I was wandering, just kind of like aimlessly, like, I don't really know where to go. So that's why when this kind of came up, and when my friend called me about it, I was thinking, wow, like this is kind of what I've been praying for. And it kind of really within the past 6 months, I felt like the Lord really, really got a hold of me again.
Yeah.
I was kind of like doing a little bit of doing my own thing for a bit.
Yeah.
But you're going to be like, that's the cool thing about you. You do have energy, and that was never a question. You have a sharp mind. You're a people person. And once the Lord takes that and puts it in a direction and kind of channels your focus, whatever you end up doing, wherever he ends up taking you, you're going to be really effective. So that's exciting to see.
It is. Yeah. I think
Little
that,
Jack is now
I
Big
know.
Jack.
I can't believe it. I was just
Baby
saying
Jack
too.
is now
I think
grown
that
Jack.
part of the
Unbelievable.
part of the challenge too, though, probably is it's interesting because I didn't have this because I'm one of the older kids. So I had 5 above me, but it's probably interesting for you trying to figure out what you're going to do because you're the youngest of 10 boys.
Oh man, yeah.
And so, and you're
you are the
lower
youngest
down,
boy.
you're number
Yeah, the
15 of all the
youngest boy.
kids, but you're the youngest boy. So you've seen all the older ones do their thing. You've seen what works. You've seen what doesn't work. You see what you don't want to do. You've seen what you don't want to do, probably just by like tagging along with them. And so that's a different dynamic that maybe a lot of people haven't experienced.
Was
So
that disorienting for you? Did you feel like you had to have some self-discovery of like, but what do I want to do?
Yeah, I feel like I honestly did a lot. Like I would see how Justin would do, and I would try to like imitate him. And then I would see how like Jason would work with certain things, and I would try to imitate. I feel like I did a lot of imitation. Like just when I would see any of my older brothers or anyone do I would try to imitate that. So I really do feel like I kind of got a mix of like all the boys in me, just from all the imitations I've done, especially James. Whenever he started, he became really funny within the past, I don't know, 6 years or whatever. That just he had like this new side of him come out, and I don't know. I feel like I imitated that a lot, or tried to in a way. I feel like all of us have. I mean,
and then you're like, wait, who am I? Who's Jackson?
Exactly. So
what's my temperament?
So that's where I feel like it kind of, I've kind of had to come back to the point of like, all right, where am I? Like, who am I going to be? You know?
Well, that's the moment you're in right now. Like this season of being away from Arkansas, being on your own at Bible college. A lot of that will become clearer for you. I mean, it's learning those things are for the rest of your life, but this kind of coming of age and understanding like, okay, who am I? What is my passion? What do I want to do? And I wouldn't be surprised if you go a different direction than any of the other brothers.
I do love people, and I love helping people. And I mean, I was just talking with a guy last night in the dorm there. He was just telling me about some things that he's going through, and I just was trying to give him some Bible, give him some scripture. And it was a fulfilling time for me. Anytime I get to talk with anyone, anytime I get to pray with them, it's just, it's so fulfilling. And I think maybe that's kind of where the Lord's leading me, but I don't know. And then like you were saying, you asked me a question earlier about like, what do you think this, like, have you ever had a time where you stepped away? I think I've had a couple times where I went off to missionary, like a training camp for 3 weeks. I've had a couple things like that, but this is definitely probably the longest time I've been away by myself. I mean, I've done a lot. I've done some long times away. I've done like 2 months or 2.5 months away, but
then focused in study too, which is different.
Yeah.
In that setting where you're like having to keep up with the classes and all of that.
Yeah.
So,
but it's also when you say away, a lot of people. I mean, people have tight families, but there's like an ecosystem of the Duggar world. So like. There's always someone to do something with, and you guys are so tight-knit as a big family that to step away from that, it is a shock.
Yeah.
It's a shock to your system.
I'd imagine you miss everyone. Do you get homesick?
Who do you miss the most?
Yeah.
I think, okay, so I think you said, do I get homesick? I think I do get homesick somewhat, but I don't have enough time most of the time to think about it.
That's probably good.
Which is good. So I'm working a lot on papers and all the stuff, so I don't really have enough time to think about it. And when I do, then I'm over talking with someone else, and it's like, I'm always busy. But the other question you said, what was it? Again, I forgot.
Who do you miss the most?
Who do I miss the most? I mean, I honestly think I just miss mom and pops and the four youngers is probably just because
that's who's
they're
there.
Right there.
That's your family who lives at the big house all the time. So, that's crazy.
Yeah, and I don't know. Maybe I definitely like James and Jason because they're also there too.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right. Here's a couple questions. Maybe some rapid fire questions. Growing up with 9 brothers, who was the wildest brother?
Ooh.
You.
Okay. I was probably the loud one, right? But James actually was the one who was he wouldn't talk. He wouldn't like tell you, but he was honestly just the craziest. He would just, cause he had the temperament of like, he's quiet, right? But then the mischievous that you just didn't see coming.
Yeah. The quietest man in the room is the most dangerous.
Until you hear an explosion out front and you're like,
and you're, he
James
just caught himself on fire. Great. Awesome. Well, that's great.
Who's the funniest sibling?
The funniest. Ooh, okay.
Who keeps you laughing?
Honestly, I think for me, Jason's been pretty funny because I worked with him.
Yeah.
And I kind of learned his humor.
Yeah.
Jason's been the funniest, but Josiah definitely. Josiah was the funniest for a long time. I feel like Lauren really helped him kind of, get.
Josiah's the kind, I think I've said this on the podcast before. He's the kind, like last time we went back to the big house, I walk into the kitchen and I see Saya. I go, "Hey, what's up, Saya?" He goes, "This guy." Yeah, then he'll wait for the response. Like, and you're like, "Yeah, got it. Josiah, thank you."
I love that.
Classic Josiah.
Yeah, he's got, it's funny.
It's
but Jason, Jason's kind of kept me laughing.
That's cool.
Just kind of his little jokes, and James too.
Who were you closest with? Like, I know you guys had buddies, and you were the second half of the siblings, and it's funny. Like, you guys have different experiences as we were the olders, we were the youngers. Who were you like real tight with, or was there a few? Would it have been the younger girls?
So Justin right above me always hung out with guys like, he hung out with Austin. He hung out with all the mature, older guys. Right. So he was very mature, and he was put in the mature group. In the mature group, I felt like I was like, the cutoff was right at me. I was with the young girls.
Yep.
And I was always kind of like, "Oh, Jackson, you got to go with them. You can't stay out late. Oh, you got to stay over here. Go drink your sippy cup in the corner. Like that kind of." But then again, like with my temperament, I feel like that just kind of makes sense. I was very kind of just immature.
That's so funny. I want to ask Johanna about that because I remember when Johanna did the kids album.
Yeah.
And the 4 girls did it, but she was just at that age where she was like 16. And definitely having thoughts of like, I'm too old for this. Yeah. And so there's like that interesting
I remember them
dynamic,
saying that too. But yeah, Johanna, I was definitely closest with Johanna.
Yeah. And she's fun though.
Yeah.
She'll keep up with you.
Oh yeah. And
awesome.
Hanny and I would always, all the interviews, you see all the interviews of Hanny and I just going at it, poking fun at each other. And then also I'm just having a great time.
Do you ever go back and watch the show?
I do, yeah. I sometimes, but the girls are normally the ones who are watching it. I'll come in at after work, and I would go in and watch it with them. But yeah,
it's so fun.
That's wild.
I love it.
You really don't remember until the last few years a time when you weren't being filmed.
Yeah,
because your whole life.
Yeah,
you are.
I was born on the first show.
It's like the Truman. You are the Truman Show.
Exactly. Yeah.
What was his name in the show? Whatever, Truman.
Yeah,
Truman.
You've seen that, right?
Yeah, I have. Yeah.
Do you feel like an affinity for that guy?
Actually, whenever when we were done watching that show, the first time I remember watching it, I was like, is this like me? Did they just make this show about me? I was like, are they watching me?
So you kind of are. Like, I looked up, I Googled the other day, like people born on TV. And there's always been, because I was thinking about you, and there's always been like documentaries where kids are born on TV, but then not followed.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So I think you're one of the only people in the world who was born and then life followed until you were 17.
Mm-hmm.
That's actually crazy to think about. I never
That is crazy to think about.
Wow.
Like, you're in a very select group of unique people in this world.
Like your first breath, you're looking at the cameraman.
Wow.
Who are you?
And I watched it, brother.
Unfortunately, he watched it. He was not ready for it.
There was no warning, and now the C-section.
Yeah. It's just like,
I was actually like skipping through and I was,
there's
Jackson.
I think I haven't seen it in a while, but I'm pretty sure, it just kind of like pops up.
It was a medical documentary.
Yep.
So it wasn't like TLC at that point. It's Discovery Plus. It was a
Discovery
medical
Health.
Discovery Health, yeah.
Yeah, that's
Discovery
crazy.
Plus is a streaming
That's
service.
a new thing.
That's like the new thing.
And there's a plug.
Jackson, you are the man. Thanks for coming and hanging out.
Yeah,
we should get more time with you on the pod, but
now go build the fence for us. Just kidding.
So glad where the Lord's taken you. So glad where you're at in life, and it's cool. I know a lot of people will just appreciate getting a life update from you because people were so invested. They followed it along. They watched you grow up, and it's funny. Like, we stick people in a time period.
Yep.
And like, oh, he's little Jackson or little Josie, and then you realize like it's kind of like my aunt that would always send me gifts in the mail throughout the years, and I'd be like 13, but she'd send gifts for like a 6-year-old. And it's like, hey, we're growing up, And to see you at 21, strong head on your shoulders, the Lord is teaching you so much. It's exciting to see where the Lord's taking you. So
it's very sweet. Thanks for sitting down with us, Jack.
Yeah, thanks
It's
for
been
having
so
me.
fun.
It's been great.
awesome. All right, guys. Well, we will see you next week. Be sure to like and subscribe on the YouTubes so you stay up to date with what we're doing. And we'll see you next time.